Good morning. Lady V here, Higher Realm Holistics. Thank you for joining me. This is very impromptu, but I was guided to share my morning prayer meditation because of everything that's been going on overnight. So let's see who joins me. Waiting. Oh, it's Sunday morning. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello, Crystal. Hello, no longer sleep. Give me some thumbs up, folks, so I can start showing up. Hello, Winnie. Hello, Cynthia. Can I get some thumbs up? Hello, Lala. That's what I call my niece. Hello, really long title. Hi. Oh, Indigo Ray, first timer? Cool beans. Hello. I was told to share my morning prayer and meditation with everyone to do this invocation that I did overnight. So, because our energies together is going to help do the invocation and help ground the energy and power of Yeshua himself to help bring in his spirit more. Oh, I'm already feeling it. I feel like heavy already. So I was told whoever joins is going to be able to pull this off with me. So thank you for joining. We're going to give it a few minutes. How's everybody doing? Can I get some thumbs up, por favor? How's everyone doing? Everyone doing all right? Hi, you're here, Megan. I only could say Megan, because that's the way my daughter used to say her friends. Say Megan. Hello. Good morning, everyone. So glad you're here with me. Thank you, Monica. Thank you. I know this is so impromptu. This is like out of the blue. Usually I announce my these type of meditations, but again, it was I can't even explain. It's like 1,000 years past. You're at your altar. Fantastic, Crystal. As we speak. Great. Thank you. If anyone wants to like get a hold of some amethyst or some rose quartz or some garnet, if you want to if you have a red candle, because that I was guided by Yeshua, that represents the Sacred Heart. Thank you, Annie. I hope everyone got notifications. Thumbs up, please, because that pushes me up in the algorithms. So please give thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Oh, hello, South Africa. No, you didn't know about it because I didn't put it out. I just jumped on. I just jumped on because I was guided by Yeshua to do it. So that's what's going on. That is what's going on. Hi. I hope one of my moderators jumps on. God only knows the crazy stuff. People get very triggered when you talk about Yeshua. Very triggered. A big trigger, which has to do with separating us. I'm going to address everything he told me to address that we went through overnight. A a big trigger is actually something I find rather ridiculous, is the whole cultural appropriation thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. There are plenty of Black folks out there who know what I'm talking about with the cultural appropriation. I've had some people come at me really hard whenever I talk about Yeshua. I'll talk about your white God. You know, that really kills me when I hear that. Hey, Brooklyn, that really kills me when I hear that, because it's like, okay. Oh, thank you, Indigo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. The whole cultural appropriation saying, oh, don't talk to me about your white God whenever I mention Yeshua. And these are people who are supposed to be awakened, right? But they're falling into the trap of separation. They really are. Divide and conquer. Because not for nothing, Lakshmi is depicted as having gold-colored skin. Krishna is depicted with blue skin. Rama, blue skin. You know what I'm saying? Yemaya, dark like me, right? Thank you, AMI. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. I really appreciate it. So that drives me nuts. You know, I don't understand it. I don't care to understand it, to be honest, because it's like, that's a you thing, not a me thing. All I'm going to do is keep speaking the truth as I know it. Exactly. Kali, dark black skin. Exactly. So any of that coming up, trying to kill the vibe. My hair's cute. Thank you. Any of that coming up trying to kill the vibe, I don't care. Yeah, there's plenty of times you see Yeshua, mostly, right, depicted with blonde hair and blue eyes. Yes, we all know the man did not have blonde hair and blue eyes. He's, especially back then, he's from the depths of Israel, you know, not Israel, from the Middle East, you know. Whatever. Never mind that. What if he did? So what if he did? So what? Does that take away his message? No, that does not take away his message. Not at all. So what if he did? I don't care. Okay? That's how I feel about it. I don't give a damn. So that's one thing I have to address. And I also have to let you guys know that, just warning, I'm sure you've been experiencing it, you know, the attacks, the attacks from other people, not necessarily you. It's like your personal life itself could be going just fine, but then people outside of you, people who are loved ones, people who are friends, coworkers, coming at you really, really hard, real hard. And this invocation of Yeshua, receiving his energy, having him walk with you daily is going to help you with this. Okay? Exactly, me too. Invoking him into your life, into your energy field, and grounding his energy through you, not only is it going to help you, but it also will help those around you also. Okay? So it's the way he came to me, and I opened myself to his energy, and he it was so interesting. Then my son's ethereal form was there, and he was talking to me and saying what he was going through and showing me what he was going through right now. And then Yeshua worked through me, and as the words were coming out of my son, he was transmuting those. It was like darkness coming out of my son. He was transmuting it into light. It was just whoa. It was a whoa night. Up until 4 something this morning, I was in that higher ethereal realm working with him. You know, it was just whoa. And first he did my daughter, then he did my son, and they were just like pouring out their hearts, and he was just transmuting that hurt. it was just so amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I was guided to read some verses. And here's another thing. When it comes to the Bible, yes, I was raised in Catholic school from first grade through college. Yes, I went to St. John's University also in New York. So yeah, I'm more well versed with the Bible, even though I had to read all the holy books through my ascension, starting in 2012. Read the Bhagavad Gita twice. I had to understand all of them, but the largest part of my oversoul is connected to the Nazarene tribe. Okay, that is the biggest part of my soul star family, the Nazarenes. Okay, which has to, and the Essenes. The Nazarenes are the Essenes, which is Yeshua, and part of my oversoul is James the Greater, which is one of Yeshua's brothers. Okay, and Mary Magdalene and Mary, Mother Mary. They're all part of my oversoul, which is part of the Nazarenes, part of the Essenes. So don't, for all the holy books, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. They've all been co-opted. Everything on this earth at this point, up to this point, has been co-opted by the dark ones, okay? Those who've thrown up the 3D grid, okay? They've taken it, manipulated it, twisted it. Oh, good morning, Deborah. Yay, you're here. Twisted it, manipulated it, okay? So it's up to us to sift through the BS, the manipulation, and find what resonates. Okay? It is a daunting task. More thumbs ups, por favor. It is a very daunting task to do that. Yes, it is a lot. So we're just, it is what it is. It's part of the game. Okay? It's part of the game of awakening and ascension to sift through all the BS. All right? So we're just going to have to sift through the BS. So there's a few verses that I was guided to read to everyone before we begin. Oh, your grandmother was in the Nazarene church? So I'm going to read that to everyone, and then we're going to do the invocation of Yeshua and open ourselves up to receive his energy for the collective. Oh, I feel like crying. I love his energy so much. God, I love him so much. I can't even explain. I love his energy so much. It's such a beautiful energy. And I just, honestly, it's like, I feel sorry for those people who are so closed off because they're so caught up on color and religion. Because again, he's a master. It's not about religion. It's the same thing with Buddha. It's not about religion. Okay, it's about spirituality. That, to me, that's the separation. Is another thing I had to take to task. Yes, he just reminded me. When it comes to New Agers, okay, I'm sure a lot of you've noticed. I know over here, Team V, Team Victory, we know these things. Okay. Yes, we're about to have church, Bella. So yeah, when it comes to that, and a lot of light workers are trapped in this whole New Age thing. Okay, when it comes to the way they treat Yeshua, the way they treat Christianity is completely different from the way they treat all the other religions, the dogmas. Yes, okay, they're more readily to embrace Hinduism and Buddhism and Taoism and all that, and completely reject anything from Christianity. They're more readily to embrace the Muslim faith. And again, with all these different faiths, these different religions, I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I wasn't supposed to. Judaism, none of it. I wasn't supposed to throw any of that out. That's why I had to sit there and go through all of the holy books of every single religion for 5 years. That's what I was doing. I didn't do anything else. For 5 years, I had to read all these books and then listen to the audio books. I mean, when I say seeped in and didn't do anything for 5 years, that was my task. And like I say, I take ascension and awakening extremely seriously, and I was told to. Not that I knew I was going to be doing this, Maybe if I knew, I wouldn't have done it because it's not all revealed to you. When people like, I want to know everything I'm supposed to do. Guess what? I didn't know everything I was supposed to do. I was told I wasn't supposed to, because if I did, I might not want to do it. Okay. My camera just took a picture of me. How interesting. Okay. It just took a picture of me, literally flashed, and I saw it. All right. So yeah, I wasn't supposed to know. You're not supposed to know everything ahead of you. You get a vague idea. Let's put it that way. I didn't know why I had to read all these holy books. I just thought it was just to have an understanding for myself, but it wasn't about myself. You saw that flash, right? It wasn't about myself. It was about, yeah, I needed to know the knowing, but it was to share it with you guys, to be that Sherpa, to be that light worker Sherpa. Okay. So what Yeshua, I got off track. What Yeshua told me to take to task also, just reminding me when it comes to that whole, the light workers / New Agers. Not every New Ager is a light worker, of course not. But it's to take to task of how they dismiss him and Christianity, lumping in him with the religion, okay, which is a trap. It's a trap to fall in, to deny what's going on right now, because it is the Christed energy. It is the grounding of the Christed energy that is going to pull us out of 3D and lower 4D and mid 4D into higher 4D and 5D. Literally, that is what is going to pull us out of the lower vibrating energies, is us coming together as one in the spirit, in the Christed energy. That's what it's about. So that's part of the that's my bangs are looking wicked. That's part of the whole that's part of the whole lie. That's part of the deception. Because literally, Yeshua is their biggest enemy. He literally is their biggest enemy. They cannot stand him. That's why we're invoking his name and grounding in his energy. They cannot stand Yeshua because he is the bringer of the Christed energy. What he did, that big transmutation of that negative energy, when it came to his big sacrifice, and he said, these things I do, you will do in greater, because we're literally taking up the entire planet with us. We're doing it all. We're doing it all. He affected several million. We're affecting billions. So that's why it's taken a couple million of us to do it. Okay. So that's what he wanted to say with that. You'll easily see these New Age people, embrace all those other religions and totally throw any of his teachings out and be like, ugh, Christianity. No. Okay. And I'll give a big example, because the minute he said that, he showed me this woman. And, I dealt with this woman years ago, a good 10 years ago, never thought about her again. I was working open heart. And her father, I just brought him in from surgery. He just had open heart surgery. His chest was still partly open, still had tubes everywhere, okay? And she comes in, her little yoga clothes, and she said, oh, I'm going to start meditating. Mind you, it's isolation because this guy has an open chest. You could see his heart beating. And she throws down her yoga mat, puts her yoga bag on top of his bed that I just brought in. And I'm looking at her in a whole isolation. I'm like, ma'am, your father's chest is open. Yeah, I see that. Listen, I don't subscribe to your type of nonsense, okay? And I was just like, I'm going to kill this bitch. Okay, and if her father would go get an infection with an open chest, literally you could see his heart beating. I kid you not, his heart was open. You could see his heart beating. And to throw your filthy yoga bag on his bed, and then you're going to have your yoga mats on the floor. I kid you not. So I kicked her out. She went to administration. They told her she had to gown up and she couldn't do that. So she comes back. I leave, come back again to check on the guy, and she's doing the same shit again. Okay. So that's the insanity of it all. That disconnects with these people who call themselves spiritual. No, I take that to task because I don't want to be lumped in with that craziness, because for me, you're as unawakened, like I said. And a lot of people got pissed off at me for saying that, called me narcissist, called me this, I don't care. I don't care. The truth is the truth, man. And I don't care at that point. Okay. So let me read to you what Yeshua gave to me. More thumbs up, please. Thank you. Let me read. Okay, this is James 2, verse 14 to 17. Okay, what good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? This is what I'm talking about. Oh, yes. And Magenta Pixie did a great video yesterday and put it in my community page talking about those who just want to focus on themselves and their ascension. That's great, because we all have to do that. But then, ignore the darker stuff going on, saying that, if you pay attention to it, you're making it, when the complete opposite is true. I put it in my community page, Magenta Pixie. Watch that video. I was like, yes, thank you for the backup. Thank you. So, suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, go in peace, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. How wonderful is that? It's like when I was working at that adolescent psych facility, and a kid would come up to me and they'd be in such turmoil. And if I would turn my back on them and be like, well, you can go meditate, and the reason why you're going through that is because you're seeing the negativity around you, and it's just a reflection of yourself, not the fact that you're bleeding from your anus and you just got raped by half of the members in your family. No, let's not address that. Let's not, you know what I'm saying? That drives me insane hearing that. Okay, here's another one. Matthew 25. And it's not that everyone has the stomach for it. Again, please don't take it as that, because I know damn straight, as narcissistic as my mom is, she's very giving. Okay. She's been a nurse for almost as long as I've been alive. And when she came to work in special needs nursery where I was working, she lasted 15 minutes. She was doing some summer contract. They sent her home because she could not take it. Special needs nurseries, faced without works is dead. Exactly. And they're forgetting that. Those people are forgetting that. Okay. Yeah, like we had the kids with the organs born on the outside, with the 4 arms and the 3 legs and stuff like that. That's special needs nursery. Okay. That was my first job that I wanted so bad that I forced them to hire me, because they didn't even want a new grad, but I made them hire me. Hey, they fell for it. But I did good. She lasted 15 minutes. Not everybody can stomach that. Like I said, you could be up in the mountains doing a Kuan Yin thing or a Mary Magdalene or out in the forest, but you're holding the light for the collective. You know the suffering of the people. And you're holding love, and you're sending the love, and you're doing what you do to ground the energies to change things. That's just important. My job is to do it all, is to do it both, is to gather folks like you. Thank you for blocking whatever troll it was. Is to gather folks like you, and for us to come together and ground in the energies to do that. And on top of it, if you wish to go out and start doing physical deeds also on top of that, that's fantastic. That's different from saying, looking at somebody who's suffering and saying, oh, well, you're suffering because you basically deserve it and ask for it. No, you're here if you sense and feel their suffering to help them come out of that suffering. That's what service to others is. And it's not to say you allow people to drain you. There are many narcissists out there, people who are with narcissistic traits, and believe me, especially doing what I do with counseling people, helping guide people, you run into many of them who, no matter how much you help them, they keep falling into the same pitfalls. They're not helping themselves. They have not that they're full-blown narcissists, but they have that narcissistic trait, and they're draining as an empath. All you guys are empaths. Everyone's an empath. It's different degrees of empath, especially if you're a light worker, you're a pretty powerful empath. You can fall into the trap of allowing yourself to be drained, having the life sucked from you. It is up to you to have the discernment to know when to say no. And you say no out of love. You have to know when to cut it off and say no. Okay, that's very important, because there are many people out there who allow themselves to be drained to the point of death and completely falling apart. I've seen many healers fall because of that. Well, I have Miss Embracing Light. Thank you for being here. There are many people who healers who say, please don't be insulted if this happens. I've had many people come back to me like, oh, do you remember we had a session a while ago? Do you remember? No, I don't. Because like I say, I allow the energies to work through me. Okay? To work through me. I channel through me. I connect to your oversoul. I connect to your higher self, and I allowed it to work through me, not in me. Okay, I don't take on anybody's stuff. I allow it to work through me. And once that's done, I release it. So if I don't remember you, please don't get insulted. It's because I have to do that for my own well-being. I release it. Please know that lesson. Learn to release it. Don't take it on. Don't hold on to it. More thumbs up, please. Okay, let's continue to read. I'm going to start from Matthew. Hi, guys. I'm back. Hi. I hope everyone comes back. Ugh. Hello. You would not believe what happened. Literally, some crazy Pokemon commercial started playing. I'm back. Everyone back. Yeah, I want to start reading this. Everyone back. Come back. Oy vey. All right. Matthew 25, 35 to 40. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. I get emotional with this verse. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When you did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or nothing, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison or go to visit you? The king will reply, this is Yeshua talking, the king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. This is the embodiment of the Christed energy, doing for the least of us. For real, I've taken in homeless people constantly. You guys know this. I meet people on the beach and I bring them in and clean them up. I've taken it, but that was always me, because it was just the personification of that Christ energy. I just always want to be in his energy nonstop. Okay, Luke 10, verses 25 to 37. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. Listen, teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What is written in the law? He replied. How do you read it? He answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. You have answered correctly, Jesus replied. Do this and you will live. But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho. This is Jesus saying this story, this fantastic parable. In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road and saw and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite meaning somebody from the land of Levi, when he came to the place and saw him, pass on the other side. But a Samaritan, which is from Samaria, a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day, he took out two denarian, that's the money, gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expenses you may have. Which of these three do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. There, drop the mic. Drop the mic moment. Okay. That's everything you need to know about what living and being in the Christed energy means. I hope you guys are still here, because I'm not seeing anything. Oh gosh. You still here? Okay. So that is what know what Jesus said. The Samaritan, Good Samaritan, the Good Samaritan law, which is actually what covers and doctors and other people who are in the field who go and rescue somebody, who help somebody. They're covered under the Good Samaritan law, because people will sue you for giving them CPR. People are crazy. That dark narcissistic energy does run rampant around here. Okay. So this is what I mean with these false light bearers. They're not one to pray for anybody. They're one to sit there and blame the victim. Okay. Oh, if you're seeing that, if that happened to you, it's because, you brought it on. Here's an example. In Brooklyn, this happened several years ago in Brooklyn, Prospect Park in Brooklyn. It's right across from where I gave birth to my daughter, actually. Prospect Park in Brooklyn. There was a 4-year-old girl being raped. It was midday, 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of Prospect Park. Her uncle was on top of her, raping her. There were people standing around, because they actually had the video on the news, because everyone was busy watching with their phones, videotaping, recording, recording this man raping his 4-year-old niece. Okay? One guy jumped over the fence of where they were and beat the living crap out of this guy and held him down till his buddies went and got the cops. Tons of people. There were over 30 people in the crowd watching a 4-year-old get raped. To me, that just speaks volumes on how the majority of people are. And that includes those sitting there saying that happened to that 4-year-old because of the negative energy within her that she's reflecting outside. So therefore, she called this rape upon her. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Mob mentality. Yeah. Mob mentality. Straight up. This is why, I've had so many people, especially in my own family, because they're very Catholic, try to condemn Muslims. A Muslim guy saved my life. A Muslim guy saved my life. On the number 7 train, I was 19 years old. I was coming from cheerleading practice. Okay. It was Thanksgiving Eve when 4 guys jumped me and tried to rape me on the number 7 train. We boarded on Times Square. And people who were sitting on the bench got up. The train was full of people, sat on the opposite side and watched. Back then, they weren't smartphones. And at first, it was this little old lady with a cane trying to hit the guys. They pushed her. The train still did not leave the station. She ran out. There were 2 cops standing on the platform. And she said, "Help that little girl." And I'll forget because my head was facing this way. And I saw the 2 cops and they said, "We're not allowed to go on the train. We're stationed here." And they pushed the old lady. And there was another woman. She was this Caucasian female. She looked like she was in her 20s. I'll never forget. She had on a blue suit, white top with little pearl necklace. And she tried to jump on them. And I was with my best friend also. So they were trying to fight these 4 guys. And they threw her in between the cars. And she managed to escape and jump out. And she too was trying to get the cops. And the cops still wouldn't come. And then as the train was going, mind you, this went for a good 5 stops with these guys on top of me fighting, beating the crap out of them. When this Muslim guy got on, young Muslim guy, and he jumped them and helped me get them off of me, and they ran off the train. And he stayed with me till we got all the way to the end, Flushing. So it was a long ride, anyone from New York. When he took me to the police station there, in the cops there. And he stayed with me the whole time till my fiance at the time arrived, my husband. And I went in an ambulance. I had temporary amnesia. I had a horrible concussion. I had cuts everywhere. But the train was filled with men. Nobody stopped. These guys didn't have weapons. They were teenagers also. Nobody stopped them. They sat and watched. They were like, sat and watched. Nobody did shit. Okay, so that is the mentality that we have to deal with. But this guy was a Muslim, full Muslim garb. Okay, he saved me. He rescued me. So it's for us not to behave that way. Okay, it's for us not to behave that way. Yeah, thank you, Jupiter. Yeah, and it's for us to stand in our truth and not allow, people to disparage other people. That religion is separation, So, that was, I wish I had wine in this cup. Just tea. I was like, I have a story to say. That's not something I talk about often, but it goes to show how people are. And that's why I'm so strong about this whole thing about blaming victims instead of helping folks. Because in helping them, you're helping yourself, because you're transmuting the negative energy when you help somebody else. Okay, so let's invoke Yeshua. I'm going to light my candle. Okay. And spray my Florida water. Okay. I always spray my feet. Feet's very important. Anointing. Anoint with my crystal. Wipe my feet. Okay, and I already cleaned my little candle. I have a little red tea light candle. Okay. And I always draw a cross for Yeshua, a cross and a heart. Yeshua. Then I have some sandalwood incense. Actually, I'm gonna use. I know what I'm gonna use. I'm not gonna use sandal. I'm gonna use frankincense and myrrh. Oh man, where is it? Oh darn. Crud. Oh well, I ran out of the frankincense and myrrh. I didn't know that. I have to buy more. Let me make sure I ran out. Yeah, I ran out of the frankincense and myrrh. Okay, well, wood. I have to use sandalwood. I have frankincense and myrrh in my oil. I have that. Okay, the light of love surrounds us. The light of love enfolds us. The power of love protects us. The presence of love watches over us. Wherever we are, love is, and all is well. Source Creator, Father, Mother, God, we are here, we are open, and we are ready. We come to serve as vessels and conduits and good stewards of your energies and powers and of the Christed light energy. Okay. You're just going to repeat this after me, okay? Lord Yeshua, keeper of the Christed light and sacred heart fire, we humbly call upon your presence. Our brother, Yeshua, Lord Jesus Christ, thank you for everything you have done, are doing, and yet to do for us. You are our shepherd. We shall not want. You make us to lay down in green pastures. You laid us beside the still waters. You restored our soul. You laid us in the path of the righteous for your name's sake. Yea, though we walk through the valley of shadow of death, we fear no evil. For thou art with us. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort and protect us. Thou preparest a table before us in the presence of our enemies. Thou anoints our head with oil. Our cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and will dwell in your house forever and ever. So mote it be. We call upon Lord Yeshua, the Christed one. We invoke your name, Jesus Christ, to help us break free from the chains that have bound us, and to help us help our loved ones, help Earth, help all who dwell upon Earth break free from the veil that has been placed over us and awaken us from our deep and dark slumber. We invoke thee. We invoke thee. We invoke thee. Lord Yeshua, we invoke your name so that we may command the darkness, so that we may command all souls to come out of the darkness and back into the light of love and peace. We invoke thee. We invoke thee. We invoke thee. We invoke the holy name of Lord Jesus Christ, Lord Yeshua, the Christed One, to welcome us back into the body of the Holy Spirit, where we dwell as one in the Christed light. For eternity. We invoke thee. We invoke thee. We invoke thee. Okay, now we're going to, the way I was shown, the way my hands are supposed to go, like this. Put your hands like this. If your hands are like this, that means you're not typing. Over your heart. So we put our hands over our heart. This is what I had already done, but we're doing this together. And in putting our hands over our heart like this, we are connecting. You are visualizing the energy from your heart. And remember, your sacred heart fire, the flame of your sacred heart, is ignited now. The Christed energy has ignited your sacred heart. And we've opened ourselves now to receive Yeshua, to receive his energy, to ground his energy, that he may walk among us, walk among the earth, through us, in us, and unite us in the body of the Holy Spirit, the spirit of unconditional divine love. We bond together in unconditional divine love in the body of the Spirit. To magnify this energy, to transmute the darkness into light. For we don't just stand by and watch the darkness take over others. We do not stand by and watch the darkness ruin souls. We stand in the light. We ignite our light. To transmute the darkness, to light the way for all those who've been seeped into darkness to find their way to the eternal light of love. For we are the walking embodiment of the Christed energy. And we invoke the name of Lord Jesus Christ, Lord Yeshua, Jesus the Nazarene, the bringer of the Christed light to this earth. We receive him with love and gratitude. Gratitude for everything he's done, is doing now, and is yet to do for us and for all kind in this ascension and awakening process. For where the light exists, darkness cannot persist. For where love exists, fear cannot persist. Our light covers this entire earth, exposing the darkness in every corner. We are of one love, one heart, one light. And so it is. Blessed be. All right, everyone. That was short and sweet. Although I am drenched in sweat. I am drenched in sweat. Wow. Hey, here I am. I wonder why it went so low. Hold on. Let me fix this. Let's see if I can fix this. There we go. I don't know how it went so low. Yeah, interesting. The light's all over me now, right? That's cool. I don't know where they came from. Yeah, I noticed the lights on my face. The sun moved. Yes, that's where it came from. Sun moved. Short and sweet and powerful. Very sweaty. That's for sure. Also, a big reason for what we did just now was because I'm trying to put it into words, for us to get it together for 2020 to 2022. I've spoken on this many times, what 2020 to 2022 is going to look like. Okay. It's going to seem dark. This is what I have to let you guys know. It's going to seem like there's a lot of darkness, but no, it's the complete opposite. It is the darkness being drawn out. Okay? It's the darkness being drawn out. So it's going to look like, oh my God, all these terrible things. That's because it's going to be drawn out for all to see, so it could wake up. Okay? Right now, it's just basically those of us who are awakened, who could see what's going on, who hear what's going on, who could see through the BS. But come 2020, like I said, once Congress goes into session for the holidays, this is all around the world, for the holidays, okay, that is when a lot of fireworks are going to start setting off. Let's put it that way. Okay. So we have to be these walking embodiments of the Christed energy of Yeshua, invoking his name. He made it very clear, like I said, the dark ones don't like his name. Okay, they don't like his name. All right. His name holds power. Words hold power. So when you're invoking Jesus's name, like I invoke the name of Yeshua, I invoke the name of Jesus Christ, however you want to say it, it's like flipping on a switch. Okay. It's difficult to explain it because everything is it's all images I keep seeing. But you guys get it. You guys get it. What else do I want to say? Oh, it's a lot. And the sweat is just streaming down my back. Ugh, it's so uncomfortable. Yeah. All of these things are going to start coming out, like I said. But it'll be almost like okay, a large part of it was him telling me, Yeshua telling me to not feel guilty, because and it's not just for me, it's for all you guys, to not feel guilty when you see everything seems to be falling apart for everyone else. Thank you, Sheen Israel, for the super chat. It's we're getting ourselves together because we have to be together in order to support others. Okay, because how are you going to? You can't help people rise from if you're down here. It's about us being up here and pulling people up. You being the Sherpas. You know what I'm saying? It's not about you being down and having people stand on top of you to help them rise. It's the higher helps the lower. Okay, that's why it's like me being a Sherpa. That's why I describe myself of being ahead, clearing the brush, going through the BS to clear the way for everyone else to come up. Okay, thank you, TC, for the super chat, much appreciated. So that's what it's about. Okay. Also, what was the other message? Yeah, this may seem a bit off the cuff, but I've mentioned this several times before, and I spoke about it a few months ago. Okay, a few months ago, I spoke about this. Okay. When it comes to things being exposed and the dark ones, the agents of darkness, the humans that have been working for the dark beings, they're going to start dropping like flies very soon. Let's put it that way. They're going to start disappearing and dropping off, and there's going to be a couple of assassinations on those guys. And I've mentioned his name before, which kind of surprised me. And I'm going to say it again because it's going to come up soon. I keep hearing December. His name is James Comey. Nobody's homie Comey. James Comey. He's in deep trouble, and they're going to get him. I didn't know much about this guy when I first heard about him, so I had to look it up. He's a very bad guy. He's part of that whole thing going on in the US, but he's an agent that's affecting the whole world. They're all working together. They're all working together, guys. We all know this. They're all working. There's no difference. The reason why the US is up front right now is because this is where Q is stationed. Okay. So yeah, they're gonna, let's put it that way. Yeah, Comey. I didn't know anything about him when I was first told his name. This was months ago. You guys could go back in an NRV. I talked about him a few months ago. And I was like, and then recently there was a Q jump. I was like, oh, that guy. I said his name a while ago. And then I was shown again. I was like, oh, he's going to get shot. So I'm mentioning it again. That's all I got to say about that. So yay, we're at 144. Awesome. So thank you. I don't want to just leave like that. Yeah, I disappeared again. I hope everyone comes back. I'm back again. I'm back. Say goodbye. I didn't want to just leave like that. Back again. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to say thank you and have a great Sunday. I hope everything goes all right for everyone. And yeah, don't forget those verses I read. Okay? Don't forget those verses I read. Share that with folks because too many people are stuck, especially when it comes to those who are in the whole new age movement thing. They seem to be really service to self. Oh, thank you, Victorious. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. They seem to be stuck. Yes, and put on the armor of God. They're stuck in the in themselves, service to self. They really are. They're stuck in service to self. It really is all about that. It really is all about that. And come 2020, that whole service to others is going to be huge. Right now, it's just us having the foundations to be in a position where we could really be a service to others. For those who haven't taken up that mantle yet, it is a mantle. Okay, my service to others is going to change. Okay, because the entire situation is going to change. All right, guys. So if anyone's interested, I'm going to be doing the webinar this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time about the flower of life, and we'll be drawing the flower of life, and it's about hooking in and becoming one and raising your vibration with the flower of life and hooking into the higher 5D energies through the flower of life. So that we're going to be doing that. All right. So now I'm doing this invocation. Don't forget, invoke his name, whatever you need. If you have that darkness, use it in your prayers. Call him in to help you with your family. It was just so interesting how he was there working through me and in me. It was like he was coming out of me, drawing that darkness out of my kids as they were talking. Thank you, Dora. I appreciate it. Drawing the darkness out of my kids and transmuting it. It was just so, it was mind-blowing. Okay, so goodbye. We got this. We got the victory. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here. See you tonight. Bye.